Not everyone gets the opportunity to start their life all over again, obviously. But it can get to a certain point of one's life that you can always rewrite your story. This is going to be an extension of the video I posted earlier before this one. And if I am to start my life all over again, what are the things I would have loved to do differently? I have shared 5 things I would have loved to do differently in the video before. If you haven't, here is the video and I'm going to link it in the description down below. If you haven't watched that, kindly go to the video and come back to this one to continue the journey. Hi there, my name is Meenah and I have had my own share of life. So out of the curiosity, I have been able to build this channel to help women like me thrive through their journey and not to be a victim of their circumstance. And number 6 is having a career before marriage. Hmm. Don't get me wrong. I am not against you pursuing your career after marriage. And obviously, there are some marriage that will not only push you to have a career, but it will push you to succeed. But for those of us that could not have that kind of marital experience in such a way that it could have facilitated our career, what would we have done? I was able to realize that it is better to be on safer side. It is better late than ever to have a career before marriage. Having a career before marriage will not only give you as a woman a sense of purpose, but will give your partner a sense of understanding that this woman is actually able to stand on her feet. She has a purpose of herself, she has a dream of herself, and she has a career she's living up to. There are lots of women that get into marriage with the expectation that when we get settled, after the first year, I will go back to my school, complete my education, I will go for my NYSC service, I will go to do this, I will start developing my career from the corner of my living room, from the corner of my room. Please, I want to ask you, how many people have succeeded in doing that in the world of today? If you have, please put it down in the comment section and share your experience with us. But for those of us like me that had that intention, and that intention was nowhere to be found after marriage, that is why it is better to have that career built, or at least on the process, on the journey of building that career before you even settle down at all. Truly, I was schooling when I got pregnant with my first daughter. That was 8 years back. And with the intention that having the child, I will go back to Obafemi Awolowo University to get a certificate again. Truly, I went there. But do you know what eventually happened? I started having issues because my ex was complaining I barely have time for him. He was complaining I could not be at home when he needs me. He was complaining I could not even take care of our child. I had to put her with my mother. And he was even complaining of the distance, me transporting from Lagos down to Ife. And eventually, to top it all, he was complaining that I was already having experience with different people that is making him scared. There are so many things that are bound to happen when you don't have a solid career before you get settled or before you marry a man. Some men have insecurity issues, some have problem of keeping themselves together, some are indecisive, some are jealous, some have anger issues, and the list is endless. Some are even scared of what you're eventually going to become when you are more successful than them. And this affected not just me, but my entire life. So because of that, I learned that if I were to start again, I would have loved to have this career. So a man can see me of who I am. He can marry me or be with me of me. He wouldn't tell me to switch something or eventually make me decide something I won't be happy about at the end of my life. It worked for some women, obviously yes, but how many women has it worked for? Please, I want to hear in the comment section. Please comment below. Not everyone. And I even got to realize that sometimes before you even get married to a man, there are some certain things you need to have in your checklist that would help you or guide you in choosing a man you are to settle with. And as a result of that, in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips to consider and some lessons I was able to learn throughout the journey as a woman, either you're single, you're married, or you are divorced as a result of different societal influence and expectations from women. So having a career before you get settled is one thing I would have loved to do over and over again. And when the situation in my marriage, ex-marriage, they started eating up, I would have had something to fall back to rather than me falling back onto nothing and shattering into pieces. The seventh thing I would have loved to do differently is having a marriage checklist before getting married. Yes, I am not ashamed to say that, and I believe you should create one for yourself. And in fact, I'm going to be making some video on marriage checklist before you get married. So watch out. What do I mean by marriage checklist? I got to realize that my ex-husband was not in support of a woman having a dream life over his. He was not in support of a career woman. He was not the type that helps around the house chores. He does not know how to cook. He does not know how to boil water. He does not know how to do petty things around the house. He does not even know how to cater for a pregnant woman. He has emotional infidelity. He has insecurity issues, and the list was endless. He is controlling. He wants me to always abide by his own words, and he does not listen to my opinion. These are marriage checklists, and these are possible red flags for you to notice before you end up getting married. I realized that not having this checklist cost me a lot of pain. Having a marriage checklist is not because I am too choosy or I'm trying to go over the moon to choose a man, but it shows I am trying to give myself a kind of bracket and barriers so people will not intrude into my privacy or give me any mental distress as the journey continues. What type of thing do you want in a man? What are those things you would have loved in a man that when you keep seeing it in the man, you realize that yes, I am happy and satisfied. Even if I'm not able to see everything, but at least to an extent. The first thing I would have loved to see in a man in terms of marriage checklist is a man with religion, a man of belief. If a man does not believe and does not have a deen, it's a no-no for me. Because when it comes to spirituality, you're going to lose connection. What if I don't have that connection as well? How do we survive at trial times? How do we connect ourselves back to that thing that created both of us to check our habits and character towards ourselves? Who will give us that inner questioning about life and the way we are living life when we are falling into error? A man that is not financially stable or does not have a career is pursuing either a stable career or is pursuing a career is a no-no for me. And that is part of what happened to me. A man that lives in his family house without having the thinking or the thought to get a house or get a roof over his head, depending on his own streams of income to create a sustainable lifestyle for myself and our children is a no. A man without emotional concern that does not feel sorry for his mistakes is a no. These are the things we need to watch out for in a man. Creating a marriage checklist is not until you go into the moon to choose your choice or to make your choices. When I could not create this checklist, I fell into error that hit me a very big time. A man that cannot stay committed into relationship, moving around with different women here and there while I am there, waiting for you in the house as the supportive woman you want me to be. A man dictating his words right to my face, telling me how and when and what to do with my life is a no. You can obviously give me your own opinions on what you feel I should do, not for you to command me that this is what you want me to do and you expect me to just stick to it when I'm not a robot. I have a brain of myself to think. I have a way I resonate. I have the kind of picture I want with my life. Having a man that does not help me achieve my dreams, my goals, my career, and does not support me in any way. You don't have the money, all well and good, but do you have the words? Do you have that emotion to continue what I am about to become? Is it no? These are the things we need to put into a marriage checklist. You need to have a picture of the kind of man you're looking for. And I would ask you, if you're married, there is no marriage born out of pity. No marriage should be born out of consideration. No marriage should be born out of insecurity issues or infidelity issues. I'm going to manage him because I could not find any man. You're making a mistake. I'm going to marry him because he is rich. Is it only money you're looking for? I'm going to marry him because he's emotionally concerned to me. Are you bothered about the emotions alone? I'm going to marry him because he's a Muslim. Is that the only thing you're watching out for? That can be the central focus. But what about other things that is attached to him being a Muslim? Please, ladies, don't get me wrong. I don't want, and I really wish to tell as many women as possible to share my experience with them, not having a marriage checklist, what it has cost me. A man that can leave a woman without talking to her for 4, 5, 6 days, and you are living in the same house, chatting with another woman right in her presence, is emotional blackmail. You are torturing her emotionally. That I felt it wasn't easy to go through all these things. Knowing the person you choose to love before is doing all these things, and you don't really have a way to control it. All you have to do is just nurture that feelings right inside of you, and it's killing thousands of women out there. Not having a marriage checklist is just like you giving yourself a slow poison. Getting married as a result of peer pressure, societal influence, shouldn't be your major concern. Your happiness should come first, then other things should follow. I can go on and on talking about a marriage checklist, and I'm going to be posting a video on that. Watch out. The next thing I would have loved to do differently, which is going to be number 8, is having kids at early age. Don't get me wrong, please. I was opportune to have my kids at early ages. I had the first one at age 19, the second one at age 23, I guess. And do you know what that did for me? If you see me now outside, you can't really tell if I am a mother of 2 kids. Not just one, I mean two. And when I was working before I got settled where I am today, I did not tell them I have kids. And because I did not tell them, they were just calling me Miss Aminat, Miss Aminat. In fact, I had a lot of single guys approaching me there. And there was a time I was so curious and I was like, haven't you noticed I am a mother? Somebody was like, are you for real? Just stop it. You don't want us to come to you again, or you're trying to push us away. I stood up and I was like, I am a single mother of 2 kids. Can't you see that? They told me back, they can't see that. They don't even know. That how do I expect them to know what the kind of body, with the kind of shape, with the kind of expression on my face day in, day out? That if somebody had told them I had 2 kids, they wouldn't have believed. And why was that? Is because I had kids at tender age and I started taking care of my body since I realized I had to invest in myself. My body got back into shape. I am the type of person that does not take pills. I'm not a fan of pills because I took pills as well. Oh my goodness, there is a lot to say here, but I'm going to make it short and make another video on this point. I took some, but those are the things I would advise a woman not to do for a man, either before you get married or when you are in marriage. Yes, I'm going to do a video on that. And if you were looking forward to that video, please comment below and let me see your reaction. I was taking drugs, and that drug then was Levofen. I take one pill on daily basis. I don't have just discoloration of the skin. No. I had fluctuating emotions. I had a lot of health issues. I do have migraine. My skin was floating. Even my neck was nothing to write home about. Like my whole body was just out of nowhere. I was accumulating fat. I was having eczema. I was having irregular menstrual flow. I was having a lot of things wrong with my body until I stopped taking that drugs just because I was trying to prevent pregnancy. Honestly, yes. So having kids at early ages helped me to put my body back in shape. And because I don't want to take pill again, I resolved into taking naturality because since we are made from natural occurring elements, according to the scientists, why don't I infuse more naturalization into myself? I started taking herbs and started drinking them, watching my food intake. I'm not really I've not been really exercising a lot, but the little exercise that I was able to do using my phone app actually helped me to get my body into shape up till this very moment. My belly was not is not big. My body size is in shape. But if I should stand next to some woman or some single ladies out there, you can barely tell the difference. And for you that probably you are older as well, you have kids, I would advise you to please watch out for your body. And one of the days I'm going to be creating a video on the best apps for women that wants to look good and fit in shape without having to take drugs or pills. Yes. Just natural herbs that you can prepare in your kitchen to help you maintain that good body shape. So having kids at early age, in fact, I'm able to nurture kids, and right now one of my children, obviously, is in basic 5 going to GSS 1, and the second one is moving closer to basic 3 and 4. So having kids at early age will give you enough time to be able to look after your kids and give you more than enough time to look younger again. The ninth thing I would have loved to do all over again is build resilience through hardship. Hmm. Like I said, I have had my own share of life, and reading gave me that line: building resilience through hardship. Resilience is just like perseverance. You being able to understand that there is more to the life you are living. You being able to understand that there are so many things bound to happen if you're willing to be patient enough to see yourself through those challenging times. Resilience is just like giving hope to the hopeless, giving support to the person that is not being supported, and giving yourself a tap at your back, a job well done, that better days lies ahead. I realized that I was really, really hard with myself, that during those times, I was blaming almost everybody. I was blaming every single thing that happens to me. I was almost blaming my kids, and I got to realize that truly it was hard. Truly it was not easy. Truly I am facing difficulty, but whether the cause of my problem? No. The kids have zero influence on my lifestyle because I was the one that actually brought them into this world. And I realized something was missing is that resilience, that perseverance, that patience. Whenever there is hardship, it's just like the universe trying to sense your attention, calling you forth into realizing something that you are not seeing before. It is calling you for you to understand that there is more to the world you are living now, and for you to be able to actualize that there is more you are about to become. There is no success story without a sorry story. There is no succession without circumstances and obstacles. If you're bound to become someone great in life, you're obviously going to have your own share of life. Through hardship, there is ease, just like we Muslims says. And one thing I would have loved to do all over again is that whenever I'm faced with any circumstances or issues in life, I always want to be patient and persevere through the journey, expecting the better days to come. Those better days will not come when you are still bitter, angered, and impatient. It will come when you surrender yourself to the situation and look forward to the good times with your consistent action. The last thing I would have loved to do differently, which is an extension of point 9, is self acceptance. Self acceptance is just like a self love journey. And it got to a point that it was just as if I was living for nothing. It was just as if I'm not even in this world, just like a walking dead. It was just as if I am blindfolded. So many things are wrong with me. I don't have a life. I don't have a voice. I don't have a purpose. There is one of these books I stumbled on, and it was not actually a book. I think it was an article on the self book. And that day, I sat down myself and started writing a lot of self notes. Self acceptance is learning to fall in love with yourself. My life is not going the way I want it to be. My situation is having a lot of sorries and a lot of tears. My circumstances are not justifying my actions. It's just as if the whole world has turned against me. It's as if myself I have turned against me. And one thing shaping my thought, it shifted the way I was thinking, and that is self acceptance. Yes, it was a book by Joyce Daniels. Your best life starts here. Yes, that was the book. It's about self acceptance and forgiving yourself. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of errors. I've had a lot of regrets, but I was able to turn all those things into lessons. And because there are lessons, I need to accept them as a part of me. I need to see them as part of my journey. I need to make myself believe that there is a reason everything is happening. It is not just happening to me, it is happening for me to achieve something. Self acceptance is you loving yourself again, accepting your situation and all pain, working towards the good days that lies ahead. Having self acceptance will enable you to see beyond the fact that somebody is the cause of your problem, but rather that you are the one in control of your own life. You are the one that can create your reality. During this journey, I never accepted myself for the way I am. I had a very bad body, a bad skin, a bad breath, a bad shape. I don't have a good source of income. I don't even have a job. I don't have a career. I hold on to nothing except for my two kids that I can call my own. I don't even have a certificate. I don't have anything valuable. But it got to a point that I realized that for how long am I going to keep nagging and complaining? Rather, I should just embrace myself as an imperfection and work in progress. I should be an imperfection with satisfaction, but the fact that all that matters is progress, not perfection. When I began to see and look through myself, I realized that accepting myself gave me a wholeness and putting all the things I have listed together in a sequential manner. I started tapping into them, starting from the religion, connecting to the spiritual world, accepting myself, building resilience, not having an educational certificate, but I started building on a skill, creating a source of income, nurturing my kids, and having goals to achieve in later years to come. I started choosing the kind of thing I want in a man that eventually led me to leaving my ex marriage because it was nothing close to what I would have wanted in a marriage. And if I don't leave, I wouldn't survive. Not that I wouldn't survive in that manner, but I'm going to be losing more than I'm going to be gaining. So when I started putting all these things in order, I realized that truly starting one's life all over again is not going to be about erasing the old story, but it's going to be about rewriting the story in a manner that you will be happy about in the future. So starting my life all over again is rewriting my story and acting on these 10 steps I have put together so I can create the life I want to be. And 2024, honestly, has been a total turnaround for me. It has helped me start a journey that I am willing to share on this channel with you. If you are going through difficulty in life, any situation of life at all, you can always rewrite your story. There you have it. 10 things I would have loved to do differently if I had to start my life all over again. If you have been able to get one thing or the other, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to join the community. And like I said, if you haven't watched the previous video, kindly go back to watch that and come back to this one. In my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you lessons you need to understand, major life lessons I got to realize as a woman. If you want to live a happy life, you should understand these things forehand. Do not let it bother you when you start hearing different stories about women, especially when you are moving on onto higher heights or achieving your dream or career in life. This lesson I have been able to put together up to 30. Yes, is a lot up to 30, I'm going to be sharing with you in bits and pieces. Lessons I have gotten to realize as a woman if you want to have. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.